Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Francisco and Robert already in the room. I like it. All right. Just getting a couple things ready here. Jay, hello. I'm actually prepping my my tool here. I got my carbide, so I'm swapping it around. See if there are any unused sides on it. I think I'm good. Ken, John, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. Let me grab the... So this is what I'm going to turn tonight. 3 pretty cool blanks. There's a needle and thread right here. It's got wood or burl ends on it. And then the embedded brewer. The Titanic is from Jason Rose. It's one of his embedded blanks. And the OSB is dyed, stabilized. It's one of Ken Frisbee's. And Ken makes some killer micarta, so I'm looking forward to this OSB blank tonight. Everything going all right for everybody? It's you know, they probably postponed that Falcon launch for the weather. I don't know about anywhere else, but it is crazy windy here in Arizona. It's rattling probably. It's shaking back and forth. Mr. Franklin, hello. Good to have you here. So I'll just give this a couple more minutes. I'm just prepping a couple things. I'm going to turn this one. Somebody asked me last time I turned to use the mandrel, so I'm going to turn use the mandrel for this first one, which is good because I don't have TBC bushings for this Monarch Grande that I want to put this on. So I'm going to use these mandrel bushings. Get those out of the way. Actually, talk about those real quick again when we're done here. Anybody got anything you want me to do in a future live? I'm going to do some casting soon as well. Hey, we got Caster's Choice here. Hello, Sarah. You guys, Sarah is responsible for all that wonderful Caster's Choice we use. And I guess Brian is a little bit responsible. All right. Looking good, looking good. Let's see what this additional light does to anything. That might blow out. We'll see. Let me know if I need to adjust in here. And if you guys can't see the blank, I can always adjust it. But make sure I got everything you need here before we get started. So my plan is, I want to turn these 3. I want to turn them and finish them. I may not assemble them, just because I'd have to move the camera and that. But mostly I just want to see how they look. And I'm really excited to have these. This one I think is going to be a gift for my mom. This one's going to my collection, and this one's going to my collection. So these are kind of fun ones to turn because they're for me or someone else. So it'll be kind of cool. What's cutting in and out? Is it the feed is cutting in and out? Maybe I'll close this door, guys. so windy here, the back shop door is just rattling like crazy, so hopefully it's not too bad. The live feed is choppy. Ooh, I wonder if that's because of the weather. Normally I get a pretty good signal out here. Let me see. I wonder if it's, let me see if I can switch it mid-feed here. Well, guys, keep me posted. I'm connected to a strong Wi-Fi signal, so I'm not sure why it would be choppy other than the weather. Get this connected up here. So, all right, well, if it continues to cut out or anything, just let me know. I know it's tough to watch stuff if it's cutting out, so if we have to postpone because of the... Okay, guys, so I'm on cell service instead of Wi-Fi, so let me know how that is. Might take a minute to get it back in line. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's see what that does. If that works, I'll just have to go fast so I don't burn up all my data for the month in one evening. I might have lost a bunch of you when I just switched it there. So just let me know with the chat if you can see anything or hear anything, or if it's still buffering, any of that kind of stuff. The beauty of technology. Chris says good to go. All right, that's good news. Hopefully it's a little smoother now. It's funny, they're coming tomorrow to boost our stuff here in the shop, the data and the Wi-Fi and everything, so excuse me. All right, so it sounds like maybe we're a little better here. Got a couple good to goes. So let me know if you guys have questions along the way. This is going to be pretty simple stuff. Turning a blank here, needle and thread with some burl on the ends. I'm turning this for a Monarch Grande. That would have a little thicker profile. Then I'm going to turn this Ken Frisbee. It's an OSB dyed stabilized. This one's like red. Looks really cool. And then lastly, I'm going to do this Titanic Jason Rose embedded blank. And it's got all the Titanic logoing and like vintage material with the wood and coal in it. So that one will be cool. So let's start with this needle and thread, and we'll give it a go. So I just got this rest fixed up for this lathe. This is the little Laguna 1216 lathe, and it comes with a big, at least I think it's big, 6-inch rest for such a small lathe. So I got this, Rick Harrell on the IAP makes these, crank down, and they're pretty awesome. I had one on my jet for years, and so I needed this one because it's a 1-inch tool post. So I got this one all ready to go. All right, looks good. All right, thanks guys. Hey Ken, how's it going? We're gonna turn one of your blanks here in just a minute. So, crank this puppy up. I'm gonna run it at 3600, which is what it tops at. All right. Yeah, I gotta get this rest set. First time using it. It's this round bar is so much nicer to work on. There we go. All right. Hey, and just a heads up, because I don't know if everyone knows, we have these Laguna lathes in the store now. So we can drop ship them, or if you're in the area, you can pick one up. Smells like Alumilite. Oh, this rest is so much nicer. I have to blow you guys out with that. I'm taking lighter cuts because I wasn't sure what the material was here. I didn't know if it was Alumilite or epoxy, but it seems to be holding together nice and tight. And there's that needle already showing up. I said it earlier, but we were kind of having trouble with the stream. If you guys want to see anything on these live streams, let me know, because usually I use these at the end of the day to turn stuff that I've been wanting to turn and haven't got a chance to, so it's kind of fun to do it this way. I've got a few other blanks from different makers I'm going to do, and then probably do some casting and that kind of stuff as well. This thing's looking good. I feel like maybe I hit something there. Nope, I'm still good. Just paranoid, I guess. I'm gonna bring these ends down because I don't know how much room I need for this needle. Since I didn't make the blank and I haven't turned one before, I'll err on the side of more. So I've got a little more of a fat center profile than I would like, but I don't want to hit that needle. Let me take a look here. Actually, it's flattening out pretty nice. Ooh, I think I'm like right on the top, so I'm going to stop right there. It's a wider body, but not terrible by any stretch. I think this will look pretty good. So I've got my water right here. And if you guys have watched anything lately, I've been doing a lot of Zona paper. What's up, Wani, Francisco? So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sand this. This is a piece of 800. I'm just going to sand it wet real quick. Just take out any lines, any tool lines. I'm going to turn this down to about 1,000. And I'm not really trying to shape it. I'm just kind of taking out any lines. I like to keep it wet for heat and to take away that dust. Looks like this is maybe a purple color. Can you guys see the needle in there? I'm not sure if it's showing up well. Oh, if he wants a lathe, have him get a hold of me for sure. All right, so here's the Zona. I'm just going to go through the grits real kind of quick here. I've found that once I hit that with the 6-800, I think that's 800. As long as it starts out pretty flat, this stuff does not take long. And even though there's wood on the end here, it seems like it works pretty good. Uh-oh. I think I got a spot. Oh no, there was glue. I thought something came out in the blank, like I hit the spot, but there was CA glue from when I glued in the tube on my paper here. That's not ideal. Luckily it was stuck on the acrylic, so it came off pretty easy. Okay. So back to it. So that it took a little longer than normal because of that, but just moving through the grits now. Keep this stuff wet and it shines like crazy. Moving pretty quick here. Everything look good on the feed? Ooh, you know, I don't know about that. I'd have to check Francisco, see if he can send me an email and I'll check on that for him. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think a lot of times there's little hypes on stuff and it catches, but I know a few guys have been using this a while now and it really is good stuff. It's definitely sped me up as far as finishing. And I used to always use a plastic polish, and I never do anymore. This stuff is, once I get through it all, it seems like it's pretty much good. Hey guys, I'm turning Travis's blank right here. The needle and thread. I'm putting it on a Monarch Grande. Alright, let's take a look. So I'm not gonna, I don't want to scratch that thing, just kind of wipe it. So the only thing I want to do is, I'm going to let this dry a minute since I was using it wet. I'm going to put a friction finish on it. So this will be pretty good for the moment. Once I get the, boy, look at that, I got that glue all over my fingers. I guess I better be more careful. I'm gluing on a table over here behind me, and I glued up some blanks earlier, and I dripped the glue, I guess. But yeah, there it is, the needle and thread. Looks really cool. I think it'll make a cool kit, or a cool pen on a kit. So I'm gonna let this sit a minute and dry off these ends. They're already drying quickly, but that way I can put some friction on it. So in the meantime, we're gonna switch to this OSB blank. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I was thinking like an all black for this red. We'll see how it comes out. So I'm thinking, same thing, Monarch Grande. Give me a little more room. Speed this pup up. That's 3,600 right there. All right. So this is Mr. Frisbee's guide stabilized OSB. Boy, this is tough stuff. Yeah, look at that. That looks cool. I put my dust mask on because this stuff can get kind of nasty and dusty. So I don't know if this needs it, but I'm just going to drip some thin CA on here to soak it up. That's just mercury thin. The main reason I'm doing the accelerator so it doesn't throw any drops in my face while I'm doing this. That is pretty cool looking. It looks like it just goes every which way, which it does. Alright. Actually, I'm going to sand this one on here. This is a piece of 400 Abernet, and I've really been liking the Abernet for sanding wood. I like that you can build it up and then just get rid of the dust out of it. Definitely don't want to breathe in this dust. So now I'm just going to sand with the grain, if you can call it that. I guess this stuff doesn't really have a grain direction, but I just want to flatten it out this way. And this might be, these blanks might be a good one for CA, but maybe not, because they kind of have a, like a utility look to them, industrial look. So CA might be a little too much. Alright, so now I'm just using, I'm going to put some Mahoney's wood finish on here. It's a friction finish. I'll do half here and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that looks cool. So there's the finished half and the unfinished, just for comparison's sake. And we'll get that whole thing. I like to build this up a little bit. I go from the wet spot on my paper towel here and then to the dry, get some heat going, and then bring it back. Seems like it helps the shine a little bit. You'll kind of start to see the shine. Even while it's turning, it'll go from dull to shiny. Just going back and forth like this. I don't know, maybe that dry side acts like a buffer. Hey, Travis. All right. Now this stuff too, if you can wait a day and put another coat on it, it looks amazing. I don't know if I have the patience very often to do that. Alright, let's see how this one looks. That is pretty cool. Here, let me show you what the blank looks like. So that's a Ken Frisbee OSB. Kind of looks like mussels or something with blood in them. Looks kind of cool. That might be a good candidate for doing some kind of cool engraving on. Try to get this better here. Neat texture to it. That's the original blank there. Before and after. Really cool. Travis, I'm going to put yours back on and put some friction finish on it. Jason Rose, hello. Jason, I'm going to do a Titanic Blank next. So this stuff, although you don't need it on the plastic, it certainly doesn't hurt it. I wouldn't do it if it was just Is this thing being so noisy? I would do it if it was just a resin blank, but since it's a hybrid with both, it'll look good. Oh, maybe it's this time. Tap, tap, tap. All right, so there's the Travis Brewer needle and thread. Got some paper towels stuck there. This is cool blank, Travis. You could definitely do some cool things with different thread colors. But it fit in there nicely. I didn't hit the needle, which was what I was afraid of. So looks really cool. I like how you did the ends and everything with the wood. But there's that one. So lastly, we're going to do this Jason Rose Titanic Blank. Now I don't have a set of junior mandrel bushings, but I do have TBC bushings, so that's what I'm going to use. So give me just a sec to swap this. You can hear it, that's just spinning on the live, or the dead center. But I like to kind of snug it slowly. I'm just kind of tightening and untightening my tailstock here. And that'll push this in and set it a little bit, because if I just tightened it and stopped it, it would move over the course of the next minute or so. All right. So this is a Lumelite. I'll crank it up to 3,500, or 36 if I can get it. And we'll get her done here. Woo! My bad. Trying to go too fast. I'm taking a pretty good bite. I figured Jason makes a good blank. He can handle it. I think we're all right. All of Jason's embedded blanks turn really easy like this. Got dust all over my face. We're pretty close here. So, little sales pitch, I guess. This Titanic Blank, if you want one of these, you got to get it from Jason. We carry a ton of his embedded blanks, but for this one, you got to get it from Jason, I believe. All right, a couple questions. I would like to make Jason Rose cry. That's no problem. Explain why you have your tool at an angle. It's just preference. So this is a square carbide, and actually it's a radius tip. So instead of being straight across, it has a little bit of an arc to it. I always use the arc because it's a little more forgiving. So if I accidentally hang an edge a little bit like this, it's not going to rip my blank up. I tend to turn a lot as a skew, and it takes away some of the aggressiveness. So it really just depends on your comfort of how you like to hold it. So if I just hold it like this, it's a scraper and it'll work fine. I like to kind of bring it in sometime. It gives me a little more control of direction, and it takes away some of that cutting edge because I don't have this whole edge, I have an angled edge. So it's really just preference. A lot of times I'll do it on the ends to bring the ends down. That way I'm a little more careful. When I turn, I tend to like to turn fast, and sometimes that gets me in trouble. So by turning my tool, I can be a little more careful, but still move pretty quickly. So I just kind of using it more. It turns it from a scraper to a skew, I guess, is the main answer to your question. Now you could use the same thing. You could do the same thing with a round. You can use it flat like that, or you can use it more skew. And there again, you're just taking away some of the aggressiveness of it. So especially if you're starting out, you're a little newer, maybe give it a little bit of an angle like this to slow yourself down, and you'll get good results. But these work perfect as a skew. Most of the time, especially with this square tool, I'm either running it like this as a rougher where I'm just taking material out. And the reason I do that is because I can push with this cutting edge. And then you'll see me I'll cut in and along this way, and that way I'm using this and this to cut, and I can take a bigger cut across. And then when I want to be a little more careful, I can pick the tool up on its corner and just walk it across like a skew. And I believe we're good here. Let's take a look. Oh man, Jason Rose, I think this thing's crooked. No, I'm just kidding. That's pretty cool. But so you can see it, there's no tool marks. So when I hit this with the 800, I'm gonna flatten it really fast because there's no lines. It's just perfectly smooth. And then I can go right to that Zona paper and not have any issues. So nice blank, Jason. There's the little nugget right there. So I hope that answered your question. Oh, at a 45, you mean when I was first starting? That's my roughing. So I like to move it at a 45 to start to rough it out. Boy, this stuff is just static. So here, I'll kind of talk through this one if that maybe helps. Steven Daniels, hello. Thanks for coming by. All right, so I'm gonna snug this up again. There's the loose. Tighten it up. And I'm not tightening hard, I'm just snugging it barely. Okay, so now I'm roughing it, so I'm using the diamond part of this. Hopefully you guys can see that. The nice thing about if you're doing it this way is you've got two cutting edges. So if you are comfortable going back and forth, you can cut both directions. You can kind of pull off that corner. Same thing here, kind of cut the corner down. So that's pretty much just my roughing, is when I have the tool that way. Now I've got a long way to go, so I'm probably going to make another pass or two roughing. And you can see my strands are getting long. So I'm round, I know that. I'm round and I don't have any chips. Sometimes when you rough that way, you get chip out, which is fine. Which is fine because you can then bring in your tool. I like to bring it in and cut it. And then I can just make one pass back and forth like that. And this thing is perfectly smooth. So there's no chip out left in there. Not that there was a lot from this one, but like polyester resin, when you rough it at an angle like this, it looks like broken glass when you're done. But it doesn't matter because with one cleanup pass, you're back in business and then you can do this. Hey Matt, yeah, the negative rakes. So this is Alumilite, so I don't really need the negative rake, but on polyester resin and like really hard stuff, oh man, it's night and day. I've got a set that I use when I turn polyester. And it'll really save your bacon on a tough blank. A lot of the mass-produced color blanks that are like $3, $4, it's great that they're $3 or $4, but they're super hard. And they want to chip out like crazy. So by having the negative rake, you save a lot of wasted material and time. Because most people break those blanks for every one or two they get turned, they break a couple, which is unfortunate. This is a junior bottom, so I've got a slope to it. It's wider here than it is here. This is not a negative rake. This is actually just a radius. So it's a CI2 radius from Easywood. And like I said, the radius is my favorite. If I was turning polyester or a hard resin, I would definitely have the negative on here. But Jason Rose does a pretty good job at measuring the Alumilite, so his blanks turn like butter. Alright, we're almost to size here. Just got to take off a little more. So I'm not doing this one. I'm using this more as a scraper here because it gives me the control to shape it. If I was using a skew, here I'll show you. It's a little harder for me to taper this. And that's just my own handling of it. So I like to use it more as a scraper, and then I can walk it down the blank and taper that end. My compressor's getting weak. I have it turned off so it doesn't keep turning on and blow your eardrums out, but I'm losing air. Some of these. Yeah, we're almost there. Even though you never want to say just one more pass. All right, let's see what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So by using that carbide, I'm pretty clean. And clean, I mean my tool lines are pretty clean. There's not much there. Oh no, I just got the lagoon all wet. All right, I have to clean that tomorrow. So I'm gonna turn this down to like 1,000. I didn't lose the stream, did I? Everybody still there? All right, I'm gonna turn this down to 1,000. I'm just gonna hit this to take out any lines, any marks, any inconsistencies. I can't feel any, so that's a good sign. I like to get my ends there a little bit. All right, that feels pretty good. Oh man, I got dust all over my hands. Okay. So just going through the Zona again. It's pretty easy. There's 6 colors. Each one is a different grit. This will probably be the last set I use them on. This, I think you get about 5 or 6 pens a set. So I just cut little squares, go through them. If you guys have any Zona tips, let me know. I've only been using this for since January, so about 4 months now. But I know a few people have been using it for a while. I can already see the shine building up here. You can probably tell just in the video. How quick it shines up. Alright. It's looking good. So the white is the final one. Give it a little extra attention. And let's take a look. Oh yeah. So that's with no plastic polish. That's just the Zona. Got some dust on there. But that's the Jason Rose Titanic. That's the lower. So I do have to polish the upper one. I think I'll go ahead and end the live stream for that. Same process as you just saw for this one. So pretty cool blank. There's a little piece of coal from the Titanic, right in that white circle. Maybe I'm cutting that off too much. There we go. So that's the coal, and cool graphics. Nice blank, Jason. But as usual, if you guys have any questions, let me know. You can find Jason Rose blanks on Turner's Warehouse, as well as most of the other stuff I used here, but use what works for you. And we will call it a wrap with that. I'll go ahead and post pictures of these. I'm going to assemble them. I'll post pictures of them tomorrow, so if you guys want to see the finished product. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.